What's up, y'all? That Blood just ended. Let's give it my review, my breakdown of the show. I think it was a great pay-per-view. I mean, it was only about a 5 match card, but man, it was jam-packed from the start. At first we had Sam Punk versus Drew McIntyre. That feud has been brewing and stewing for a couple weeks, maybe even a couple of months. They've been going back and forth, attacking each other on Raw. So this match led up to its hype. There was a lot of blood, hint the name of the PLE, Bad Blood. Very good match. It was a good table spot with Drew suplex CM Punk outside the ring. That was a great spot. I do think CM Punk should have won. The crowd was behind CM Punk more. And it was all around good match. It's almost like you can tell they really don't like each other. Even though we know it's just wrestling, but it was a great match all around. And next we had Bayley and Nia Jax. That match was okay. Nia, I think she has to add more moves to her repertoire, but I do think they do want to market her as just the strong, dominant one that runs through everybody. And even if you think about a lot of the strong wrestlers, male wrestlers, like the real big strong ones, they don't really have too many moves. So I'm okay with her move set. They should make her more dominant. Just give her a little bit more move sets. Tiffany Stratton came out. I do think in a couple weeks it will be Tiffany time. The crowd's behind her. She has a huge pop every time she's on screen. She's good inside the ring as well. I do think her mic skills has to probably get a little better, but I do think she's like the next rising star on the roster for sure. Next we had Finn Balor and Damian Priest. Just like CM Punk and Drew McIntyre, this has been brewing since SummerSlam. Even before SummerSlam on Raws, I can kind of tell that they were kind of feuding. They were kind of hinting towards something. Even months ago, I was calling it months ago they were going to break up, and then they eventually did. That match was pretty good. We knew Judgment Day was going to come out. Like they usually do. Priest definitely got the win. It was a good match overall, and I do think that feud isn't over. I do think they have a couple more things they want to do down the line. The next we had the Triple H segment. He talked about Crown Jewel. He talked about they will have a new Crown Jewel champ every year. It's going to be an ongoing thing where they make champion, fight champion without the belt, and you win that belt. I do think that's a good thing. I do think that's pretty good. I do think that they'll find unique ways how to get the match card together. But I do think that's like a good thing going forward to win like that belt. I do think Gunther probably wins it. It's just I have a feeling that Gunther probably will win it. So, and then next we had Gunther even came out during Triple H's segment, and he talked about he did go at Goldberg, which is pretty funny. He told Goldberg he wasn't a good wrestler. He pretty much told his son that I hope your dad's a good father, better than he was a wrestler. It got crazy crowd reaction. Goldberg hopped the rail, hopped the barrier, and wanted to go in the ring. So I don't know if they're kind of itching towards a Goldberg return or Goldberg feud. I don't know. We would have to wait some oncoming weeks to see. But that is something, everybody should look at, because it was weird how they had him jump the barrier and they had him pretty much interact with Gunther. So I don't know if they're kind of cooking something up with him and Gunther on a low, but we'll see pretty soon. He called him a one-trick pony. Then we had Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley. That match pretty much was pretty good too. Had Dom hanging in a shark cage. Dom, I've been saying this for weeks. Dom is playing a great heel. I'm glad they decided to make him heel and make him go his own way. So I do think in the future, Rhea and her are going to keep, and Liv Morgan is going to keep feuding. They're good for on-screen TV. They both are great wrestlers, great on the mic. So I do think their feud isn't over. Having Dominic in that cage was pretty funny. I do think it was kind of like when Eddie Guerrero was facing Rey Mysterio for the, custody of Dominic. They was kind of playing off that, which was pretty good. I do think that match was pretty well. It did get breaking up at the end. Um, some interfered. One of Liv's, old running mates came and interfered with the match. And got DQ'd. But I don't think that feud is over. I do think Rhea is going to win back the title, but I don't think they could just take it from Liv right now. I'm gonna be honest, because she's on a run. She's on a crazy run right now, and I don't think you can just take it from her momentum right now. Her and Dom gets a crazy pop when they're on screen, even though it's like boos. Every time they're on screen, they have crowd interactions, and the people love them. So I do think their feud isn't over, but I do think Rhea's going to win it back. Maybe a Survivor Series, or I wouldn't be surprised if, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Liv kept it all the way to WrestleMania. I really wouldn't be surprised. She's on a great run right now. Then we had the main event. We had Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes versus the Bloodline. All around good match. Roman Reigns still looks like he has it. It didn't look like he was moving slow. It did look like he had to catch his breath for a while, which I get. He didn't wrestle since WrestleMania, so I understand. Why he was winded at times, but he looked good in the ring. He was in shape, moved crisp. He interacted with the crowd a lot. Cody Rhodes did his things per usual. He got a huge crowd pop. I do think Solo is, like I said, a great heel as well. He's playing into that role where the crowd is screaming "F you, Solo." I do think he's a great heel for that. And Jacob, I think he's one of probably the next heels, rising stars, because man, he's strong, he's physical, he's a good on-screen character. He's decent on the mic. He's just aggressive. He's like that bruiser. I do think that he's going to be next up in the future. And man, welcome back, Jimmy. Jimmy came back. He was injured a couple of months ago. He was injured. I think he had a leg injury or something like that. He surprised the crowd and came back, got a huge pop, helped Roman Reigns. And which was kind of weird was at the end, when I thought it was going off, Jimmy and Roman was walking up the ramp, and even before that, it's just the back of my mind. I just thought Jimmy was going to super kick Roman. I don't know why. I just thought he was just going to super kick Roman and join Solo's team, but he didn't. They were walking up the ramp. Bloodline started jumping on Cody. They run back into the ring, but all around great match. I do think that match was pretty good. I do think Bloodline carried that match, I will say. I'm not even going to lie. I do think they kind of carried. But all around, good match. Was definitely not, a sleeper of the night. I think it might have... I'm trying to think match that stole the show. The best match, I think, of the night. I don't know. It might be Drew and CM Punk. I'm not even joking. That might have been a match of the night. But like I said, Cody did his thing. Roman did his thing. When Roman gets some more matches underneath his belt, like I said, he haven't wrestled in months. So, he was a little rusty. Wasn't too bad, but he hit a lot of his moves. It wasn't like so rusty where it's like, damn, he's rusty, but it was pretty good. All around, good pay-per-view. The Rock came back at the end, which was kind of crazy. The final boss definitely came back. I'm curious to see what they do with the Bloodline now, because Solo has his faction of the Bloodline. Roman has his. I'm kind of happy to see what they do with it, because I don't know if The Rock starts his own. I don't know if he sides with Roman. I don't know if he sides with Solo. I don't know. He didn't say anything. He just showed his face. The crowd went wild, and then the screen cut off. So I don't know what they do with The Rock. I can see them pairing him up with Solo, The Rock and Solo, going against Roman. But if that's the case, then they would have to need more than Jimmy to help Roman. So like I said, I don't know what they're going to do with The Rock. Maybe he starts his own bloodline. I don't. Maybe his own fraction. I don't know. Maybe he sides with Roman. Maybe he sides with Solo. I really don't know as of right now. I'm kind of on the fence of both. But man, good all around, good pay per view. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments.